What's going on, everybody? It's Carmine from Barmine Tech, and today we're going to talk about how to add a new network interface, whether it's a new NIC or a network adapter, like a USB network adapter, to your Proxmox host, so your server now has more network interfaces. So this could either be because your existing network card is maybe a fast Ethernet card, and you want to upgrade to 1 gig, or it's a 1 gig and you want to upgrade to 2.5, or maybe you just need more interfaces because you might be working on a project like pfSense. Might be a hint of something we're doing in the future. But if it's time to upgrade those interfaces, it's super simple, and that's what we're going to go over today. So let's just get right into it. So for today, I'm actually going to be using one of these USB to Ethernet. So it's super simple. It's a little TP-Link one. I think I got this for about $15. This is also really handy normally in case you are, let's say, a tech that works in the field, or you don't have the luxury of having SSH available on any of the hardware you configure. A lot of laptops nowadays don't come with an RJ45 port, so you get one of these off Amazon for like 15 bucks, delivered to your house in 2 days, and now your laptop has an RJ45 port all the time. So super helpful. I used one of these in school all the time in the lab when we were configuring equipment, so highly recommend it. But we're also going to use it today on our new homelab server, and we're going to be using the $50 budget server. So we're going to make a project out of this $50 budget server. We'll say 60 bucks altogether. So let's just get right into it. Stop talking. So to start off, yesterday I wrote this nice little write-up, and we go over how to install a network, how to configure a network card. Sorry. Either you're going to be using an onboard NIC that you're going to clip into one of the PCI slots on your motherboard, or you're going to be using one of those USB ones like I just showed you. So this is already based off that you already have it connected and wired, and after you get it connected, it's going to come up. So if you come to your main server and the network tab, you can see this is my new device. This was my onboard one, and now this is the new one. Proxmox has some sort of weird naming scheme, so this is a USB device, and that's why it's named funny. This is on my main server, and again, we're in the server and the network tab. These are all of my onboard network interfaces, but I just wanted to show what it looks like when you have multiple cards. So now that the Proxmox host actually sees your card, you can actually start working with it. So we're going to try to do a little split screen action. We'll see if this works. We're going to use this one. Okay, so I'm going to summarize as we go, like I normally do when we work with these. So I have some nice pictures to go along with it, so if you get confused, you can look back, and we have the video now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to this new interface, and we're going to double click it, and we're going to copy the name, because we're going to need that. So this is the actual port name, and this is what we're going to need to configure our bridge. So like over here, I go over and I say the same thing, we gotta get the name. So we're gonna come down, and now we're gonna create a new Linux bridge. So I'm still over here in my network tab, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna click new Linux bridge, and this is what we're gonna actually link the port to. So that was our port, this is the bridge, so now your VMs can actually use it. So over here it says bridge ports, and that's where we're gonna paste in that nickname we just got. And I'm gonna click create. So now you can see over here it says that we need to either reboot or use apply changes or apply configuration. So this is going to actually make it so the new bridge exists. So we're going to click apply, and over here I say the same thing. You can actually start adding your IP info in it. Sometimes the Proxmox web portal is a little picky, so it doesn't like to accept it, and if it doesn't, it's no big deal. We're going to SSH into the host, and we're going to add it manually. And it's super simple if we do. So I'm just going to show you how to do it over the interface first, and then if it doesn't take, we're going to go into the CLI. So VMBR1 is our new interface. Let me make this big, and you can see it doesn't have any IP info, but it has the right port. So I'm going to double click, and now I need to add some info to it. So you're going to give it the IPv4 address that you're going to use for your actual host. And then you need to give it the CIDR notation. So if you run a /24 subnet in your house, you got to do it that way. If you're on a 32, you only run one host. You got to do it that way. And then you got to give it the gateway. So the gateway is the physical address of the router that you're using. For my case, it's 1.1, and I'm going to give this 1.2. If you use IPv6 in your network, use IPv6, don't use IPv4, and vice versa. You don't need to fill all these in, you only need to use the boxes that you use for that naming scheme. So it's probably you're not using IPv6, but if you are, use IPv6 instead of IPv4. And if you don't know what IPv6 is, you're probably not using it. So then we're going to click OK. And it tells me that the gateway already exists. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to clear these out. And we're going to close this. So now my bridge is made. So if I come back over to this other thing, this other write-up, we can see I just said the same stuff. And here's the pictures of it. But now, if it doesn't work, we need to come in and we need to edit the interfaces file. So it's super simple, and we just need to add a couple lines and we're all set. But the one thing to remember is that when you are SSH'd into your Proxmox host, you SSH in as root. You have root privileges, so any changes you make are final. So we are going to work with the NIC network interfaces file, and this is a pretty important file, so you might want to make a copy of it. So I have the command here. It's cp, the file you want to work with, and then what you want to rename it to. So it's NIC network interfaces, and I renamed it to NIC network interfaces copy, just so you have a backup in case you make an error, so you could roll it back in and not be lost. Because if you do mess this up, you are going to lose your internet connection, so the web portal won't work. You only have SSH access then. This is what the file should look like when you open it up, so let's open it up real quick. If I could type interfaces. So if I come in, this is going over, it has the ports. So there's the EN01, and then there's the new port that we're working with, the USB one. I have my bridge, and then I have my new bridge over here. So VMBR1 is our new bridge, and we need to match these two lines right here for our new bridge. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to give it a line, tab in, and we're just going to match it like how the bridge is in VMBR0. So we're going to add address 192.168.1.1, 1.2. I'm using 1.2 for my physical address, and my gateway is 1.1. I forgot you need to add the /24. It needs to have the CIDR notation for the address, not the gateway. So I have these two lines in. You can see it's just like how it is in the first bridge. So I just have address, the address, gateway, and the gateway. So this is all done. We can close this. We're going to hit yes. So I made a little typo in my file, and this is what happens on your root because it just saves the changes no matter what. I missed the period in between the second to last octet, so I just had to fix that real quick. I'm going to save that. We're going to hit enter, and now if I come back into here, it should give me my address in a second. Okay, I made a little typo, and the typo just seems to keep giving me issues. So all I did was remove the bridge and add it back, which is no big deal. You could do that. But you could see now that my bridge has an address. So this is the physical address of the interface. And there's my gateway, which I still have a typo, but I'm going to fix that in a minute. But now this bridge is actually all set to be used. So if I come over to a machine, and this machine's off right now, so it works perfect. So I could change the hardware. I can come in here, and I could add a network device. And now we can select VMBR1. We could add a VMBR1 as our new network device. So now this machine has two network devices in it. So I have two different interfaces to use when I work with it. So now something like pfSense might use it, which we might be working on in the next video. It might be our next little project on the channel. And I'm just realizing there is a horrible glare from the window because the sun's coming up right now, so I see half my face is gone, so sorry about that, but the important stuff's on the screen. So I'm going to remove this real quick because I don't need this on this machine. But that is how you add a new bridge to your Proxmox host, and then you could use it for your virtual machines. So this tutorial was pretty straightforward. I hope it was simple enough for everybody to understand. I have the write-up that I wrote up, and I'm going to put that in the description of this video as well. And it's super simple. Adding a network interface at first could be a very daunting task, but it really isn't. After you do it the first time and you see how to do it, it's super simple. And now I have a new network interface that I use on my VMs. So like I said, we're going to be making a Proxmox pfSense on Proxmox. So stay tuned for that. So this was the first video I had to show you how to set it up for the environment, and then next we're going to get into actually setting up pfSense. Too many programs with P's in it. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you liked it. If you can subscribe, like, and stick around so you can keep seeing the videos, I greatly appreciate it.